Afternoon, people. Today you joined me and Harlow on our own little explore. Now this combines two of my likes, cemeteries and mining. It's a little church in Cornwall in a little village called Calstock, and it's got some quite noticeable graves in it. So without further ado, join us and we'll have a look. Now, as I said, this is Calstock Church, and it was actually the family church of the Honeycomb family. Now, as we start, the first thing we come across is a little plaque in loving memory of Gordon Honeycomb. Now, as you can read there, he was a newscaster, an author, a playwright and a stage actor. He was obviously one of the descendants of this church. Now, me and Harlow, we're going to head down this way because there's quite a notable little headstone, or large headstone I should say, that I will tell you more about when we get there. As you can see, people, it's an absolutely gorgeous church. Very, very peaceful here. Anyway, there's the reprobate. And we're going to carry on down along this path and see what we come to. Now, as you can see, it's lovely and quiet. And I don't know if I've already said, but this combines my two loves, one of cemeteries and one of mining. Namely because this holds quite a few miners' headstones. One which I would say might be the most famous or the most heard of that I'm approaching now. Sorry about the shaky footage, people. I've got Pupster pulling me along here. And here it is. I don't know how much you can see in the sun, but this is the headstone of Harry and Shadrach Gale. Now, the reason this one's so interesting is that they both worked at Hingston Down mine. Now, when Hingston Down shut, they decided to seek their fortune in Canada. Now, as you can see, it says they lost their lives in the Titanic. Well, the Titanic was the ship they boarded to get across to Canada. And unfortunately, on April the 14th, 1912, they drowned and died. So that's Harry and Shadrach Gale, who were miners at Hingston Down mine. Now let's see if we can find another one. Now here, people, we have the rest place of Sir William Salisbury Trelawney, who lived in Harewood House, that's actually not far from here. He was, in the past, High Sheriff, the Lord Lieutenant of Cornwall, and he was the MP for South East Cornwall. He and his wife Patience were the grandparents of the well-known Emily Hobhouse, who was a pacifist who campaigned against the Boer War and the cruelties of the concentration camps. I don't know whether it's associated or not, but there is an adit near here with the same name that actually runs under the church. So, but anyway, going back to history, the reason he's buried just outside, if you like, in the very far corner of the graveyard, is because he didn't want his body to leave his home, Harewood House. So he was carried through the back gate, which is just over there, and buried at the closest point to his estate, which is here. And there he remains. So that's Sir William Salisbury Trelawney. Could be something to do with Trelawney Mines. Here we have another one, James Bediner of Gunners Lake. He lost his life by an accident in Wheal Bedford Mine on the 1st day of February in the year of our Lord 1844. He was only 22 years old. No age at all. Right people, here we have another one. Sacred to the memory of Philip Cock of this parish, late agent of Homebush Mine. He died in 1835 at the age of just 25. Part of his description says, "Farewell my wife and children." So he wasn't very old at all. And that again was Homebush Mine. Here we have people, John Valcock, I think that says, of this parish. He left his life by an accident in Drake Walls Mine on the 4th day of February 1850, aged 34 years. Another young one. Let's continue looking. At the end of this, I will put up a list of the known miners that are buried in this cemetery. Obviously it's a bit hard to find them because the writing you can hardly read or decipher. So as I say, at the end of the video I will put up a list of the miners, which mine they worked, and if known how old they were. But let's continue. Here we have William Lathleen and his son James, who were killed at Phoenix United Mine in 1824. So there's a father and son. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to find any more people, but I can have a look. Bear with me. There's my little baby Harlow. Harlow, you can say hello. Harlow, you can say hello, baby. There he is. He's gorgeous. I think he's getting a little bit bored like Maffers. See, it's me that likes the cemeteries. Not Maffers. He's normally kicking and screaming because he's got to bring me to one. But anyway, this last little grave I'm looking for, which I don't know whether I'll be able to find, is of a little boy called Isaac Sleep. Now he was only 14 when he died, and he died at the Virtuous Lady Mine. So I'm going to have a look. A stunning church. I don't know if the sun's in the way, people. It's absolutely stunning. So peaceful. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'll have a look and I'll bring you back. Anyway, as I thought, no, I couldn't find it, people.